Hello, friends. It's Miss Jamie. I'm so happy to see you today. Let's start with our song of the week, Tweety Tweet Tweet. Here's Miss Nancy.
This is Tweety Tweet Tweet, I Hear Birds Outside from Shadow. And here is my bird, and here is its wing that you can flap along with me as we sing. Tweet, 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 I hear birds outside. Birds outside, I hear birds outside. Tweet, 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 I hear birds outside. And I can see them in the tree. And they go tweet, 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 and they go tweet, 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 and they go tweet, 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 and they go tweet, tweet, tweet. Tweety, tweet, 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 I hear birds outside, and I can see them in the tree. And they are looking back at me. Tweety, tweet.
Thank you, Miss Nancy. Help me call for Betsy. 1, 2, 3. Say, Betsy, where are you? Come on, Betsy. It's your favorite week of virtual preschool. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. How are you? Hello, Betsy. How are you? Hello, Miss Jamie. How are you? We're so glad to see you. Here, here, we're all here. Here, here, we're all here. Here, here, we're all here. We're all here together. Yay! And Betsy and I are so excited to talk more about birds with you today. Did you know that where Betsy and I live in Virginia, there are lots of different birds right here in our own backyard? No parrots, but here are some of the birds that we do see in our backyard. This one is called a mourning dove, and it goes hoo, 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 almost like an owl. It's a pretty big bird, and it's got gray and tan feathers. A mourning dove. Have you ever seen a mourning dove in your backyard? Here's another bird that we see almost every day. This is a woodpecker. We see both kinds of woodpeckers. This one is called a hairy woodpecker, and this one is called a downy woodpecker. We can tell that they're woodpeckers because the little red tuft of feathers on their head, and when they peck at the seed, they go peck, 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 like a woodpecker. Have you ever seen a woodpecker in your backyard? Here's another bird we see almost every day. It's a cardinal. The daddy cardinal has bright red feathers and a pointy tuft of feathers on its head. And the mama cardinal is a little bit more tan with some red on her wings and some red on her beak. We see cardinals every day in our backyard. Have you ever seen a cardinal in your backyard? And there's one more that I want to show you. Sometimes when Betsy and I are looking outside at our backyard, there are no birds where we can see them. And it's because up in the tree, there's a hawk. We see this Cooper's hawk pretty often in our backyard. It sits up in the trees, and then the little birds don't want to come to the bird feeder. They want to hide because they don't want that hawk to catch them. Would you like to go outside with me? We could take Betsy. We'll put on our jacket and we could go outside and look at the birds that Betsy and I feed in our backyard. Would you like to come with me? Let's do it. Come on, Betsy, we're going to go outside and look at your bird friends, okay? So here we are in our backyard, and Betsy and I love to feed our bird friends outside, especially in the winter when it gets a little bit cold and hard to find food. We put out bird feeders, so there are tons of bird friends in our backyard. Would you like to see? Here are some of the bird feeders that we have out for our bird friends. Betsy likes this one because it's red. It has suet on one side and suet on the other side and bird seed in the middle. The birds sit right down there and eat a feast. Here's another bird feeder. Can you hear all of those birds chirping? They want Betsy and me to move away so that they can eat their bird seed. For this one, the birds sit right here on the perch, and the bird seed is inside. Can you see that? It has these scratch marks because of the squirrels and raccoons in our backyard. Over here we have a suet block. Suet is a big brick of seeds and nuts, and the woodpeckers especially love that one. And then over here we have a special kind of bird feeder. This is a finch feeder. It is full of teeny tiny little black seeds called thistle. When we put all of these bird feeders out in our yard, the birds love to come and eat a snack. Let's watch for some birds. Here come the birds. Ooh, they're hungry. Do you see them sitting on the bird feeder, eating all of that seed? Ooh, there's one on the fence. The birds really like that bird seed. I wonder what kind of birds we'll see in my backyard. Ooh, there are lots of birds out there. Do you see them all? Do you see the woodpecker over on the red bird feeder, on the back of the red bird feeder? It's a little downy woodpecker. There are so many birds, they hardly all fit onto the feeder ring. Do you see them? They have to take turns and wait for their turn to eat the bird seed. There's a call. Here comes the cardinal. Can you see that red cardinal? Oh, he flew away. He'll be back. Watch for that red cardinal. Do you see him sitting up there on the branch? Let's go inside and learn more about backyard birds. Come on. Brr, it was chilly outside today. I can start to feel the temperature changing. Now it's getting closer to winter time. Here are some feathers from some of the backyard birds that we found. Do you see these feathers? Feathers are interesting. They're not soft like fur, and they help the bird fly. Have you ever found a feather in your backyard? Betsy and I would love to hear more about the birds that you see when you look out your window. Today we're going to do a poem called 10 Bright Birdies. Can you show me 10 fingers? All of them, 5 and 5. Good. Will you help me count these 10 bright birdies? Here goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bright birdies hopping all around, strutting, pecking on the dewy ground. One bright birdie flies up in a tree and sings a little song, tweet, tweedledee. Now there's one in the tree and 9 on the ground. Show me 9. Good. 9 bright birdies hopping all around, strutting, pecking pecking on the dewy ground. One bright birdie flies up in a tree and sings a little song, tweet, tweedledee. Can you say that? Tweet, tweedledee. Good. Now there are 2 in the tree and 8 on the ground. Can you show 8? Good. 8 bright birdies hopping all around, strutting, pecking on the dewy ground. One bright birdie flies up in the tree and sings a little song, tweet, tweedledee. Can you say it? Tweet, tweedledee. Good. Now there are 1, 2, 3 in the tree and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the ground. Show me 7. 7 bright birdies hopping all around, strutting, pecking on the dewy ground. One bright birdie flies up in a tree and sings a little song, tweet, tweedledee. Did you say it? Tweet, tweedledee. Good. Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4 in the tree and 6 on the ground. 6 bright birdies hopping all around, strutting, pecking on the dewy ground. One bright birdie flies up in a tree and sings a little song, tweet, tweedledee. Good. I heard you say it. Tweet, tweedledee. Now look, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the tree and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the ground. 5 in the tree, 5 on the ground. Still 10. Let's look at the ones on the ground. 5 bright birdies hopping all around, strutting, pecking on the dewy ground. One bright birdie flies up in the tree and sings a little song, tweet, tweedledee. Good. Now we have more in the tree than are down on the ground. Look, 6 in the tree, 4 on the ground. Show 4. 4 bright birdies hopping all around, strutting, pecking on the dewy ground. One bright birdie flies up in the tree and sings a little song, tweet, tweedledee. Well done. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the tree and 1, 2, 3 on the ground. Show 3. Or you could do it like this, 3. Good. 3 bright birdies hopping all around, strutting, pecking on the dewy ground. One bright birdie flies up in the tree and sings a little song, tweet, tweedledee. Good. Now, there are only 2. 2 bright birdies hopping all around, strutting, pecking on the dewy ground. One bright birdie flies up in the tree and sings a little song, tweet, tweedledee. Good. There are so many in the tree. 9 in the tree and only, good, 1 bright birdie hopping all around, strutting, pecking on the dewy ground. One bright birdie flies up in the tree and sings a little song, tweet, tweedledee. And now we have all 10 up in the tree. Do you think there were 10 birds in our backyard? Did you see them all back there? Were there 10 or more? There's a lot of birds outside. They all love those bird feeders. Well, we're going to play a game with some birds who live in a birdhouse. I don't have a birdhouse outside. Do you think Betsy and I should make a birdhouse for those little birds this winter? That might be a nice idea. These birds are going to live in a birdhouse that looks like this. They're all different colors. This one is my favorite color, purple. And this one is blue. Is that your favorite color? And this one is green. The next one is yellow. Do you remember the signs? Good, yellow. This one is orange. Good. The next birdhouse is red. This one is tan. Good. This birdhouse is black. Slide this over. This one is, do you know this color? Gray, like Mowgli, the African gray parrot. He was gray yesterday. This one is pink. And we have two more. White and brown. You know all of your colors, don't you? And my little birdies are like this. They're going to build a nest in one of these birdhouses, and you have to try to find them. But while I hide the birdies, no peeking. You can look at the 10 bright birdies up in the tree over here, okay? Two little songbirds building a nest. Which special birdhouse is the best? Which one did the birds decide to build their bird nest in? Which birdhouse? There are lots to choose from. So if I don't hear your color, just be patient, okay? Because there's lots of friends guessing. Black? That's a good guess. Let's look and see. Are they in the black birdhouse? Nope, but black was a good guess. Where could those birdies be building their nest? Which birdhouse should we check? We hear lots of friends yelling, blue. We can check blue. Nope, it wasn't blue this time. Good guessing. Which color should we check next? Brown? That's another good guess. Let's check. Nope, wasn't behind brown, but that was a good guess. Where could those two little songbirds be? Which color should we check? Oh, I hear lots of friends. I hear lots of friends saying red. Let's check red. You found the little songbirds. They were behind the red birdhouse. They were hiding, building their nest in the red birdhouse. Good guessing. Would you like to play again? Let's see. This is the blue one and black and brown. Good guessing. No peeking, though. You can peek over here, and I'm going to hide the little songbirds. Where could they be? Two little songbirds building a nest. Which special birdhouse is the best? Which one do you think is the best one for their bird nest? Lots of friends are yelling, green. I can hear you. Yes, well, let's look under green. We'll see if it's there. No, but that was a good guess. I could hear lots of friends yelling, green. Good. Which birdhouse is the best for those two little songbirds? Which one should we check next? Well, I hear lots of friends yelling, pink, pink, pink. I hear you, I hear you. Let's look and see. You were right. We found them quickly that time. The birds were behind the pink birdhouse. That one was really quick. Quick enough, I think we have time for one more round. Should we hide the birds again? Okay. No peeking. Let's see. Where should I put them? Up high, down low. Where should they go? Two little songbirds building a nest. Which special birdhouse is the best? Which one is the best for those birds to make their birdhouse? Tell me which one you want to try. Oh, I hear lots of friends yelling, yellow, yellow. I hear you. Let's look and see. Not yellow, but that was a good guess. Where could those birds be building their nest? Orange? Okay, we can check orange. Nope, not orange, but that was a good guess. Do you want to keep trying this whole row? After yellow and orange, we can try red. Did you say red? Okay, we can do it. Maybe they're in this second row. Nope, no birds in the red birdhouse. Which color should we check next? White. Okay, we can try white. Let's look and see. Nope, not white. Well, they're really hiding this time. Which one should we try next? Do you want to do this whole row? Okay, I heard you say that. Should we try pink? Let's look and see. Nope, not pink. But I like how you're playing along. It wasn't pink, it wasn't white. Do you want to try brown? Okay, say brown. Let's look behind the brown birdhouse. Nope, it wasn't there either. Well, we've checked half of the birdhouses and we still haven't found the birds making their nest. Which one should we try next? That's my favorite color. Did you say purple? That's my favorite one. Let's look and see. That's where they were. The birds were hiding and building their nest in the purple birdhouse. Oh, that was fun. Thank you for playing along. Give your brain a kiss. Mwah, brain. Good job playing this game. I'm going to turn them all onto the back. Even the green one and the tan and black and gray, because I want you to be able to see the book that I'm going to read to you today. I've never read a book like this to you in virtual preschool before, so we'll see how this goes. This book is called Fly by Mark Teague. The interesting thing about this book is it has no words. None. It only has pictures. To tell the story, we have to look really closely at the pictures and think of the story in our head. Do you think we can look at these pictures together and try to think of the story in our head? This book is called Fly by Mark Teague. He did all the pictures, and no one wrote the words. It has one of those book jackets on that makes it hard for me to hold. So I'm going to take the book jacket off and set it down until we're done. In this story, there's a little baby robin who does not want to leave his nest. And the mommy robin tries to tell him, you have to come out of your nest. And then something terrible happens. He falls down, 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 and can't get back up. Let's read to find out about the little robin and what happens when he learns to fly. Do you see him? He just hatched out of his egg. This is the title page. Fly by Mark Teague. So here are the pictures. Here's the mommy robin. Do you see she has a worm and she's feeding the baby bird? And she's feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. It's a lot of work to be a mommy robin and feed the baby bird all the time. These are called thought bubbles or speech bubbles. Do you see this bubble up here? This tells you what's going on inside the character's head. And so the baby bird, this is what he's thinking in his head. He's thinking, hey, Mama Robin, bring me that worm. But look what's going on in the Mommy Robin's head. She's thinking, hey, little bird, you should hop out of your nest and come over here so that I can feed you the worm. You see, she's standing over here and the baby's in the nest. He doesn't want to leave his nest to get that worm. Now he's having a tantrum. Look, he says, worm, worm. This is a very excited, loud exclamation point. Do you see he's jumping up and down and having a tantrum? Worm. Excited Mark, exclamation point, exclamation point. And there he is, worm with 1, 2, 3 exclamation points. He's having a big tantrum. He really wants that worm. This is when the terrible thing happens. He was hopping on the branch and look. Bump, all the way down. And there's the Mama Robin with the worm. But the baby robin fell all the way out of the nest onto the ground. That book, you have to turn it this way because it's such a big, tall page. So here's what's happening. Look, what do you see? The Mommy Robin is flying down to the ground and she's looking at baby robin. Can you tell what's happening? Now we have to look at her thought bubbles. So she's looking at the baby robin and there's the worm and she's telling him, you just have to fly back up to the nest. But what the baby robin is thinking is that he can sit on his mommy's back and she can fly him up to the nest. And the Mommy Robin says, look at all these birds who can fly. And the baby thinks, what? Maybe I should ride in a hot air balloon. And the mommy's thinking, no hot air balloon. And then the baby robin thinks, maybe I could glide. Do you see that? He's got all kinds of ideas for how he can get back up into the nest. He's thinking maybe he could go down a big ski jump. Or he could become, who's this? Super bird. Or he could fly in an airplane. And then look at Mommy Robin's face. What is she thinking? Is she happy or frustrated? Definitely frustrated. Do you see these little squiggles of frustration coming out of her head? And she's going to have a little talk to him. She says, look, we could fly. We could go to Florida. And the baby robin thinks maybe he should ride his bike to get to Florida. The sign says, welcome to Florida. Do you live in Florida? He's got all kinds of ideas for how he could get there. He could ride a skateboard or drive a car or maybe even ride in a train. He's laughing and thinking of all these ideas. And what does Mommy Robin feel like? So frustrated, yes. Maybe he could go on a pogo stick. He's got all these ideas. And the mommy says and thinks, fly! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I don't think he's going to do it. Look, he's still having that tantrum. The mommy's thinking, there could be look, she's pointing, a dog. And the baby robin thinks, he could kiss me or lick me. And the mommy says, there could be a cat. And the bird thinks, I could scare him away. And then the mommy robin says, but what about an owl? Do you remember from the first day when we talked about what owls like to eat? Mice and moles and little birds. Uh-oh, that's a big question mark. Now the little bird is worried because it's getting dark and there might be an owl. Uh-oh. Look, it's getting dark. I can see the moon, and there they are still sitting on the ground. And the mommy is saying, come on, you can do it. You can fly up to that nest. She shows him how she takes off and flies up. And then the bird thinks and jumps and starts to flap his wings, and he flies. Woo! Whoop! This way. Look, he's from all the way from the bottom of the ground, from the bottom of the page, up, around, and up, back into his nest. That's one of those tall pages. We have to turn the book this way because it's so tall. And then look at the end. They're sleeping back together safely in their nest. Good night. Have you ever read a book like this that has no words and you only look at the pictures? It's interesting. It's a different way for your brain to think and to learn, isn't it? I love wordless books. I think they're so interesting. Every time I read them, I notice something different on the pictures. Well, if you have some birds in your backyard, maybe you would like to do this next project. The home project today is to make a bird feeder. And we can make a bird feeder very easily. All you need is some string. You could use yarn like I'm going to use, or some other kind of string, and some cereal. These are Cheerios. That's a good way to do it. And we are going to string our Cheerios onto the yarn and hang it outside in the tree for the birds. They'll come and eat all of these little Cheerios. So you need to cut a piece of string, or have your grown-up help you cut a piece of string or yarn. And grown-ups, I want to give you 2 tricks of the trade to make this easier for your preschooler. The first trick is to use a little piece of tape. You can use masking tape like this, or Scotch tape, or any tape that you have. And you're going to make the end of the yarn stiff like a shoelace. So this is a good part for the grown-ups to do. So you just stick the yarn in there like this, and then twist it all the way around and around to make it pointy, kind of like a shoelace. And that is going to help your preschooler thread the Cheerios onto the string. And then the second tip or trick is that the grown-up should do the very first one. Do you see how I put it on there? And tie a knot around this first Cheerio on the bottom of the string. And that way, your preschooler will not get frustrated when they all slide off on the end. So if you make the string like this for your child, I did another one here, like this, with a piece of tape at the top to make it like a shoelace, and a Cheerio tied to the bottom so that they don't fall off. Then friends, what you're going to do is put the Cheerios onto the yarn. You have to use your hand-eye coordination. This is really good fine motor practice. And you push the Cheerio onto the yarn. Watch again. Take your Cheerio and your yarn, and you just push it on like this. You can fill the whole thing up, and then your grown-up could maybe tie a knot at the end, and you could cut off the tape, and the birds will eat the Cheerios. If you decide to make a bird feeder like this and hang it outside in your tree or in your yard, will you take a picture and show me and show Betsy? We would love to see your bird feeders. Well, today was a busy day, wasn't it? It's time for us to get Betsy back and sing goodbye. Thank you for coming this whole week to learn all about birds. It was fun to see the pictures and to go outside and show you the real birds in my own backyard. Let's call Betsy back. 1, 2, 3, say, Betsy, come back. Betsy bird, where are you? Hello, friends. It's time to sing goodbye. Preschool time is over now, over now, over now. Preschool time is over now for another day. Wave goodbye to all of our friends, all of our friends, all of our friends. Wave goodbye to all of our friends. It's time to stay home and play. Hip, hip, hooray! And do you have some bird seed for Betsy? I don't usually let her eat it out of the bird feeders. She only eats what you throw for her. Reach down in your pocket and get it. This is what your play pack looks like today. It has all of those play ideas for you to do after the video is over. Okay, Betsy's hungry. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, friends. And if you'd like to catch your kiss, hold your hand out like this. Catch it. Put some extra glue today. Give yourself a big hug from Miss Jamie and Betsy. We love being your teacher, and we can't wait to see you again soon. Bye-bye, friends. Bye-bye.